filling up my cart again. Anyway, this is the south side of the Milk River. Still on the Canadian side. Like I said, the Sweetgrass Hills are in the States. The river is on the Canadian side, although way in the west it does start in the Montana side. But anyway, some more spectacular scenery, some interesting looking skies too. This is just to, I don't know, room on the card going down or whatever, but this is just too spectacular not to be videoing. That's the West Butte, and over here, that's Center Butte, Gold Butte, and I don't know where. I'm really curious as to where the Boundary Commission set up their camp on that shoulder, that west shoulder there. I know we've been up there, and there is beautiful freshwater spring coming out of the hill there. We threw ourselves in it, drank and splashed and everything like that, because it was just hot everywhere else. Whether the commission would have gone that high up on the ridge, or if it was lower down on the ridge where they could get their wagons to or something like that, but supposedly from somewhere up near their camp, they could see the mountains. And that's the one comment was that it was up exactly on the 49th parallel that you could spot the Rocky Mountains. I'm always fascinated by this other side over here. It's almost a cliff. The light, of course, is not that great, and we're looking through dusty windows of this Jeep. It's just so much dust. Aberdeen Agnes, it says. Well, I'm going to end up facing north here in a second, so. Oh, just to let you know that these two pictures, now I've got a video of it, I was going to have me in it. This is Breed Creek, only the river is down that way. And you can see the tops of the Sweetgrass Hills here. This would be a route by the people in my story. So I spun around here to get this shot of the West Butte from almost as close as you're going to get. And we're going to run along the border here, in keeping with our Boundary Commission theme. Like I said, somewhere to the left there on the ridge there, somewhere, maybe in below, somewhere, they had set up a camp where they ended up having both the Americans and the Brits and Canadians all within hailing distance of each other, and they were visited by you know, Blackfeet, and you could see the mountains from there. I know that it's kind of in the shadow now, but you can see a patch of woods. We were trying to get there. We probably were illegal immigrants at one time, but we never saw anything obvious. But we were probably down in the valley below, and there's a beautiful stream there, and we refreshed ourselves before we hiked back out again. I'm not certain, but we may have even come out at this place here. Yes, this is the place. And we asked if we could have a drink of water from their tap, which she allowed, the woman allowed, but it wasn't enough. We had to walk all the way to Raining on Stone, which is kind of underneath that shadow over there. But we had walked from there in the morning, come up through the coulees, and then cut across, I don't remember cutting across fields. It was like pasture. There seems to be way more farming now than there was at that time. But here we're coming up to this you know, shoulder. It extends all the way out to here. It never made it was never of significant historical, even local historical reference, I guess, to unless the archaeologists know where it is, to actually pinpoint. I suppose if you got highly technical, you'd have to be able to know exactly how far the next observation point was and where it was. You see, we're still basically climbing up on this shoulder too, so like I say, we crossed antelope, well, let me get that right, pronghorn, not infested, but occupied pasture, native grassland, to get up to the edge of that hill up there. And these are all crops now, so I have no idea. Even if they are a forage crop, they're still. So here we are going over the shoulder. I don't know, is that a couple of hoodies? I don't know. You could have come up this coulee here. Could have come up this coulee just to stay out of view until we got as close. Yeah, there. You see that triangle-shaped grass on the side of the hill where the others is tree. That's where we were aiming for, but we never did climb it. We were somewhere in the bottom, probably on the left in that valley in there where we came across the water and then decided we were pushing our capabilities. And then one time I think Jim and Lloyd and Linda came down here. It could have been when Eunice and I were in Europe. But so who knows, maybe this wrecker's yard here in this farm right here, which is still basically on the shoulder of this suburban. There's water there, there was a pond, old tractors, everything. Maybe this. There's the way up. Not the way that we went though. But maybe that was where the Border Commission had their. We're on the north side of the line still, but we're darn close. This road ends up basically paralleling the 49th parallel, and then they go oops, and they try and steer you away a mile, but it still is there. And if you do follow it without having somebody's boundary commission after you, border services after you, then you come right out at the Coots, right in between the Coots and Canadian, American and the Canadian border services buildings. But there's a turnoff that will swing you to the American side, or a turnoff to swing you to the Canadian side, or there used to be, put it that way. They may have put an end to that. Like I say, this road here, they make it jog over to the north a mile or two, so you come into the north of Coots rather than right at the border. But I mean, this, you could still call this the west shoulder of the West Butte. You can see it over the hill there. I mean, so it could be absolutely anywhere. And like I say, with these farms sitting here, maybe they went and built on top of it, or they have some funny scratches in their fields that they have no idea, you know, what caused them or when. Some early pioneers or something or other, and that's all they know. So we're close to the border, within 100 meters, hundreds of meters, that close we're going to be. But where they actually had their station, I don't know. You see one? We're backing up to it. There. According to this farm behind the hedge here, we're in the United States, according to this road. Isn't that the weirdest thing? Here, so here's the 49th parallel, which we've been pursuing here on the compass. So maybe this ditch with the fence there is the 49th parallel. As an American gopher. I don't know if there's any more or not. I mean, like I was telling you, suddenly I saw these marker that made me go, what? We're on the American side of the line. So that would be Canada. And this farmer's field would be America. We are traveling right down the 49th parallel, the medicine line between the two. I know that there's lots of farmers, or there's farmers that have properties on both sides. And there were some kerfuffle when the border people wanted them to drive all the way to Coots with their combines and stuff just to farm the tractors and stuff, just to farm the land that's out their back gate. Well, here's still nothing serious. No, that's, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. Let's have a quick look before the border patrol comes. So there's the 49th parallel. There's the West Butte, the Sweetgrass Hills. You can see the Gold Butte, the Center Butte there. I sure hope I didn't lock the door. I left the vehicle running. And then over here is the Canada side. What's the truck doing on the wrong side? Cool, eh? This is what I've been following since Manitoba. Came all the way from Nova Scotia to follow this. Well, here we are. Coots on the right and Sweetgrass on the left. And somewhere there should be a fork in the road. This isn't the way I remember it at all. I remember like a real fork in the road. I guess I just take this, well there's, I don't know, is that the border things there or is that the town? Well, I'm going to take this turn just coming up here. So those must be the backs of the border service buildings. These guys there, that's the United States, and the swamp is Canada. Here, let's see what the sign says. This is the T here. We don't go up to the railway tracks. There's Canada and there's USA. There we go, Warner County. And that was it. That's the border stuff there. And yeah, we'll go up there and see if there's any gas. Otherwise, we'll be pressing back to Milk River.